God the Father here is I conclude these discussions of Demetrius's problems. I must discuss his handicap, his dyslexia. After his first head injury, he had to learn to walk over again. He had to learn to speak over again. And that he came back as far as he did was a miracle. And the hours he spent practicing and learning to speak clearly and distinctly shows how much he wanted to be able to communicate. That he can't write is a nuisance. I don't really consider it a handicap in this modern age. There's many people available that can take down what he has to say. The brilliantness of this mind is unquestioned. All you have to do is look at the volumes of work that he has done in the last 30 years by dictating them to our devoted Alora, who has so carefully taken care of all the wisdom that he has given the world. Some people might say that this would make him unacceptable to serve as a president of the United States because he can't write. But I ask you, why? Why should this brilliant and intelligent person be kept from this position simply because he can't write, when so many other people can, and simply have to take a pad and a piece of paper and write down the glorious things that come out of his mind? Demetrius gets embarrassed when I talk about these things and say these things through him, because I have to use his body to speak. And people do not realize sometimes that it's not him speaking, that it's me, God, speaking. That I use this vessel, I use this form, and that Demetrius can let me use it is part of that problem that he has. If he did not have that problem, he couldn't let me use his body. He couldn't let other people use his body. He couldn't let others communicate through him. His handicap makes it possible for him to do all the great work that he can do. And that is marvelous. He has been given great abilities. He has been given great powers. He holds the knowledge of all of his people. He holds all of his people's history. And that is a tremendous burden. It makes it difficult for him to do other things. But he can do other things, and he does them very, very well. I say his handicap is not a negative. I say it is one of the greatest blessings that mankind has ever had, because it has forced Demetrius to learn to communicate in other ways. And he has learned to communicate in other ways very, very well. And if people reject that talent because he can't write a simple sentence, that he has to have someone else write things down for him, they are fools. They are the greatest fools that ever lived, because they are throwing away some of the greatest knowledge that has ever existed. Demetrius's powers are great, and he uses them very, very well. The simple fact that he can't write, to me, is not a negative. It is a blessing, because if he could write, he would not be able to do half of what he has done. Because he can't write, it has forced him to do things in other ways, and that has been a tremendous benefit to mankind. And mankind should not lose that benefit. They should grab a hold of it, and they should use it to every bit of their advantage and help them survive. Those who look down on Demetrius's dyslexia and say, oh, this makes him unworthy to do anything, he can hold no high position, should be sent away, should be gotten rid of, because they will destroy mankind. I thank you for this time that you have given me and listening to my messages, because I believe in my servant Demetrius, and I believe in what he can do for you. And I hope you will listen and take advantage of his tremendous talents.